If you tell me in public that you spy player, I will hurt you. Physically. I will grab you by your fucking gut and I'll twirl you around like a fucking sniper and then chuck ya. Chuck ya. What kind of person that says the Diamondback is balanced and skilled based? Someone who says the Diamondback is balanced and skilled based. What?
Faggot shit. For a toy.
Well, I guess I'm about to get twirled around.
Stop that, you idiot! Ah!
Howdy ho, everyone. Cool stuff here. Let me ask you this. Do you like getting killed when...
You never see it come down.
Well, if your ego needs a boost, take the Diamondback for a test run. I'm kidding, of course, popping your crits, so to speak. But I guarantee you, pub player number 4,375 agrees with me. See? Well, I'm here to throw my hat in the ring, so to speak, and give you how a spy main feels about the Diamondback. I plan to approach this from the perspective of the spy and the perspective of the enemy. To try and keep my own bias out of the arguments, I'm trying to base my reasons off of friendly, competitive play. I'm not going to be just taking casual play or just higher competitive play alone when factoring my reasonings. So, let's dive into one of TF2's most misunderstood weapons.
Diamond in a web, diamond in a web. I think I am dancing with the stars.
I'd first like to discuss why I think the Diamondback is not as overpowered as people claim it is. I think the only true way to do this is to associate it with the only other weapon in the game that works very functionally similar to it, the Frontier Justice. The Diamondback is like it, but different in a few key ways that don't seem apparent on the surface. Let's touch on the first difference. The spy has to actively engage with his enemies to make use of the Diamondback's mechanic. You need to risk your life by coming out of your cloak and gamble being spotted instantly and squashed like a little
fucking bug.
I think the awareness of players is a worthy trade-off for the weapon's effectiveness to be... Oh my god, the voice crack. I think the awareness of players is a worthy trade-off for this weapon's effectiveness, to be perfectly honest. Forcing the spy to get out there more often for the benefit of more damage has been seen before, except in that case, it's health. Ever heard of a weapon called the kunai? Anyways, how does the playstyle hold up against the Frontier Justices? Not very well.
You can't stop me right now. I am hot like a frying pan.
The Frontier Justice encourages turtling, or at the very least, a less active NG playstyle, which is counterintuitive, you might think. Think about it like this. If you have the ability to gain crits from your sentry getting kills instead of you, wouldn't you want to put your sentry as your main method of damage? I know I would. Even if you pepper someone with your Frontier Justice or pistol across the map, you risk getting the kill yourself instead of your sentry, therefore losing out on 1 or 2 revenge crits that would have been yours if you would have done the lazy thing and done nothing and just let your sentry do the killing. It's not fair that the engineer gets a server-side aimbot to do the work for him and get free damage, versus the spy who has to fight his way for every
single crit.
except buildings, but we'll talk about that later. There's an obvious trench of skill requirements between weapons here. I think it's very clear.
The party never ends until I go away, but I'm not going to fade away.
The next difference with the Diamondback is you can't decide when you get the crits at all. It's not like Spy has a way to time when he gains the damage. He can't just force an enemy to appear and be the low-hanging fruit. The closest thing that I've done is sapping a building of an engineer and getting into an altercation where the crit I receive will be timed with the enemy noticing me. Wouldn't it be broken if the Spy had a way to time when he got his crits, not with game sense, but with an in-game mechanic that is given to the base class and can be used whenever they see fit? Do you want to know who can time when they get the revenge crits? Why, it's our good pal, the engineer again!
I'm done playing spy with you, boy.
Picture this. Your team can't push up to the next cap on payload. You'll lose if you don't. You have a mini sentry with a few kills on it. You pull out your destruction PDA and destroy your sentry. A worthy sacrifice. You've gained 6 revenge crits by doing so. you now have a large amount of potential damage at your disposal for no skill on your part. Doing some
Super complicated math.
your potential damage is
540.
You push up and drop a heavy and a medic with your revenge crits. Your element of surprise and good movement allows you to live. Sounds unfair, doesn't it? Well, I would agree. This could also be unfair if you're nowhere near your sentry, like all the way across the map. Or hell, maybe you're even in a different game. Fuck, maybe you're in a
Different state of being.
and you just destroy it with your PDA and gain damage for no skill on your part for what is essentially triple damage for no reason? God damn. I wish Spy had a luxury like that. Maybe I should switch mains.
I think I'm too sick right now to spit bars. I think I made a hit song right now.
Let me deal with the Spy real quick. Ah! Ha! There we go. Nah, for real though, I do think the Diamondback is too powerful in some areas. So let's take a look at where the Diamondback is unfun to fight against. First and foremost, the fact that you can hide that you have crits with a disguise is completely unfair to fight. The enemy won't be able to know from just looking at a glance if the person they're looking at is 1, a spy, and 2, has crits on a weapon that they have. It's stupid to see someone and then all of a sudden take 102 damage out of nowhere. I think a nerf to where you can't crit while disguised, but still shoot a regular bullet until a 1-second cooldown after undisguising is no longer in effect. I would go the cooldown route because I, and a lot of other spies, have undisguised binds, and they would bypass the downside I made, which would make it entirely pointless. I think this would solve the issues of this.
I don't think you would
Oh,
want
like
my
that was
pyro
totally not fair for that
Pyro.
man. Oh, that was not fair.
You would not want
that
a
would have been a
Vampiro
fair
version
fight
of
for him.
my
That would have been a
pyro.
fair fight
No.
for him. I
Because
just had to
it's just-
scare the shit out of him. God, I even still feel bad about this one. I think about it every night before I go to sleep. Next, I feel the Diamondback has way too much ammo. In its current state, a full 6 crits stored, and imagining they all hit the target will give you a maximum of 612 potential damage in 3 seconds. God damn, that's complete fucking insanity. I think a nerf of negative 50% clip size, bringing it down from 6 in a clip to 3, would force the spy to use his gun more carefully as he would have way less potential damage, and nerf the damage output to 306 in 1.5 seconds instead. It's much more respectable. Not by much, but you know, I want to keep the crit mechanic. I think it's pretty funny. It still has the power to kill a 300 health heavy, but won't shred much else after. Keeping the crits, but limiting its use outside of the niche is my best of both worlds solution to the problem of damage. Lastly, I want to nerf the Diamondback in one more way. Engineers, you'll love me for this. No more crits on destroyed buildings. It's not fair to be able to farm crits from such a low effort mechanic. Although with its many annoyances and bugs as it is, at its core, it's not a very hard thing to do. We could go on and on about the Sapper's effectiveness in combination with hyper-aware engineers or spy checking pyro and what have you, but I think it's time we just take this away. It's just not fun or fair to fight against. Alright, there you go. I have your new TF2 weapon. I hope you enjoy the reworks and this gets you off those blood pressure medications. I'm sure you'll be fine financially. Right, MDL? Yeah, I'm sure I'll be fine. Well, that's all for now. Arrivederci.
Junge, ist das dein Scheiß Ernst? Du verschwendest mein Geld für etwas, was es nicht in mein Spiel reinschafft und tust dann auch so, als hättest du alles Mögliche geschafft. Ja, toll, wunderbar. Halt's Maul, du Stück Scheiße, und verschwende nächstes Mal bitte nicht mein Geld und geh einfach mal an deine eigenen Reserven, Mr. Selfmade Millionär.
Thanks to special patrons such as the Justin Man.
trying to figure out where it went. He's fine with just taking some sips. But oh, poor little kitty.